Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome all back to Dominant Mets Nation, our off-season Central Series, episode 21. Welcome back. Thank you for returning. And today we actually have a pretty decent size signing. The Mets acquired Frankie Montas, good old Frankie, for a 2-year contract, $34 million. One of those contracts where the player has the option to opt out if they have a good year. Kind of like Manaya, kind of like Severino. Basically, what David Stearns did is he copied the structure of those contracts, except that he had to pay a little more, probably because this year's pitching market is higher. Higher prices, higher prices. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now, let's start off like this, all right? Because this was a very interesting signing for me, all right? I have a lot of mixed feelings about this signing, a lot of mixed feelings. Okay, before we get into this, you could start this video off right, smash the like button if you're a new member, or, I appreciate your viewership. Thank you to all the old and new subscribers. And if you're seeing this for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Join us. We're a passionate MLB and Mets community. Okay, so now to get into it, and let me start off like this. Sean Manaea signing last year, kind of like, Frankie Montas is supposedly this year's Sean Manaea. David Stearns, supposedly has identified something in Montas that he likes, just like he did last year. But the Manaea signing, I loved. I loved it. I loved it because, I thought it was good value, $13 million. If he went to a year two, I think you paid him $12 million. So it wasn't crazy money. And I think there was good potential. Manaea was working with Driveline, and his velocity was upticking his last 3 months. He was basically dominant, a different version of Manaea. Manaea has been pretty steady with his workloads, so I really did like that signing. Severino, same thing. The value was there. You saw the highlights, the ceiling of Severino was pretty high. The guy, velocity-wise, was still really able to get it up there, 97, 98, and we saw his ceiling, what he could be in the Bronx if he was healthy. Right, if he was healthy. So those two signings I did like. This Frankie Montas signing, and I'll tell you this, a lot of YouTubers, Mets YouTubers, a lot of people who analyze this will tell you one thing. We'll say this, Frankie Montas, it doesn't look so good. But I'll tell you what you don't see and why this signing is great, Well, folks, I've looked at this signing. My immediate reaction to this signing was like, damn, this is our first big legitimate signing? I don't see it. Frankie Montas, when he was in New York, I know he was injured, but I never thought, and this is very important, folks, he had ever had the mentality to be successful in the big time situation. Now, if 2025 was the year you were shooting for to win a World Series, and that's what the bill of goods is, that's what we've been sold, Frankie Montas was not my first signing. Now, if you're telling me you're going to sign 3 more aces, okay. But if this guy is in the mix, in the top 3 of your rotation, we are freaking screwed. Screwed. Right now, our rotation is McGill, Kodai Senga, who was injured all of last year, Frankie Montas, and Peterson, who has been good for 2.5 months of his entire career. That's our rotation. And you're telling me we're going to compete with the rotation of Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani, Glasnow, Kershaw, Dustin May, and the list goes on and on with a team like the Dodgers. And there are so many other rotations that are essentially already built up. So, I'm not saying the Mets aren't going to do a whole hell of a lot of work. I'm just saying that this signing really doesn't do it for me. And when I see, and I'm looking at like different articles, and everybody's saying, this is an article by Sports Illustrated. Oh, even after signing Frankie Montas, Mets starting rotation still incomplete. Yeah, you better believe we're still incomplete. We got a guy who was injured all of last year, Tyler McGill and Frankie Montas. And Frankie Montas, I've been hearing, oh, he's an innings eater. He's an innings eater. Folks, he pitched 150 innings last year in 30 starts. That averages out to 5 innings a start. That's not good. That is not good at all. That is not good at all. And if you look at his overall numbers last year, and I've heard the thing. Well, with Milwaukee, he got a lot better. With Milwaukee last year, he was 3-3 with a 4.6 ERA. 4.6 ERA, and this is the thing that everybody's identifying. His strikeouts did go up a bit. His strikeouts were 11 per 9 innings, 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. So he did strike out a bit more with Cincinnati in pitching in the bandbox. So I'm not really sure if his stuff really got that much better, but he was pitching at a better ballpark. In Cincinnati, he was 4-8 with a 5.01 ERA. On the year, he was 7-11 with a 4.84 earned run average. Then, year before that, he was kind of injured. And when he was with the Yankees, the short time he was with the Yankees, and this is when I kind of watched him a lot, he was 1-3 with a 6.35 earned run average. That's when I watched him a lot, and I was saying, thank God the Mets did not get him. Thank God the Mets did not get him. And then I was saying last year when we got Sean Manaea, I'm like, oh, I remember a couple years ago, the Oakland pitchers, I wanted Montas more than Manaea. I'm like, I'm so glad we got Manaea. Even when we signed Chris Bassett, I'm like, okay, the worst pitcher out of that bunch that Oakland let up turned out to be Montas. I just don't think he's got any great stuff. I don't think he's got great stuff, and I don't think he's got the mentality to be great. If you look at his baseball savant last year, it's pathetic. His advanced numbers are pathetic. His ERA, 19th percentile, expected batting average, 37th percentile, expected exit velocity, 35th percentile, chase rate, 38th percentile, a whiff rate 45th percentile, K rate 47th percentile, based on ball rate 22nd percentile, and that's important, folks. He doesn't have great control. Barrel rate 21st percentile, a hard hit rate 13% percentile. I'm looking at this. He's not even mediocre in any category. The only category that he's over 50% is fastball velocity. And this day and age, everybody throws the ball hard. So what do I get here? I get a guy here who throws 5 innings. I can expect an average ERA around 5, and I'm going in the 2025 season competing for a World Series. What message does this first signing tell me? Unless you're trying to tell me, and I don't know if they know this. This is where, maybe I'm hoping David Stearns is playing chess. Hopefully he has identified something that the Brewers have picked up and that they're going to develop. You've heard some of his mechanics, some of his movement, they've tweaked that a bit. But my biggest thing is this guy friends with Juan Soto? Does he have a relationship with Juan Soto? Is that going to help Juan Soto sign with the Mets? Because I don't really see him as being a great pickup. Now, I know I want to give David Stearns the benefit of the doubt because of his past success, but that doesn't mean he's had without failure. I mean, remember Adrian Hauser. Remember Jake Diekman didn't work out. Remember Jorge Lopez didn't work out. Paul Blackburn, he wasn't that great. Brazoban didn't work out. Johan Ramirez didn't work out. Michael Tonkin didn't work out here. Zuber, guy we got from the Rays, didn't work out. And Stanek, for most of the year, didn't work out until the very, very end when he had a couple good innings. A lot of pitchers did not work out. The Ottavino this year didn't work out. If you examine the roster more and more, we just went through a whole slew of pitchers, but a lot of players did not work out. So don't tell me he's going to hit on everyone. And Frankie Montas is a guy that I would be shocked if he hits on. And, if you're telling me that he's going to be a key cog in the rotation, that worries the hell out of me. That worries the hell out of me, especially when this was the year where we're supposedly set to compete for a 2025 World Series. Now, if you're telling me we're going to get a Corbin Burnes, We're gonna get a Sasaki. We're gonna make some other, good moves. That's another story. I mean, I would have liked to invest some of that $17 million into possibly a Walker Buehler, a guy with a higher ceiling. I don't know. Was Walker Buehler looking for more money? Okay, if he was, he's younger, he's got a higher ceiling, and we have the money. So I don't know what would have been the problem. That would have been a guy that, okay, if you want to put him at the end of the rotation, that's a guy with a higher ceiling. That's a guy I would have invested in. Now you got a guy with a very low ceiling and a very high floor. So the guy, I don't get it. I don't get it. The guy doesn't have much potential, in my opinion. So, and he's only had one good year. Only one good year. In 2021 in Oakland, he was 13-9 with a 3.37. I guess 2019 too. He had a decent year as well. So 2 good years out of a 9-year career. He's got a 7.7 wins above wins above replacement. Okay. The bottom line is this guy has not really done much to contribute to winning. If you look at everybody's trying to, and I hear this, the big conversation, the big sell point is when he was with Milwaukee, he did phenomenal. He did great. Well, let's look at it. His last start, he pitched against the Mets. He pitched 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. You went 4 innings. Okay, so, that was decent. Though the start before that, September 22nd, in 2 innings. So this is the start before the playoffs. He went 2 innings, 6 earned runs. 7 earned runs, 8 runs overall. So 7 earned runs. 7 earned runs. This man gives up right before the playoffs and goes 2 innings. The start before that goes 5 2/3, gives up 3 runs. All right. I guess that's decent. Next start before that, 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. Not bad. Then the start before that, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. So it looks like you got a guy who's going to pitch 5 to 6 innings. And in the month of September, he gave up about 4 runs a start. 4 runs a start. So, I mean, that's not that great. Not that great. And if you go into August, I mean, it's not good at all. 6 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. I mean, I don't think giving up 4 earned runs is good, and if you give up 4 earned runs on average and then you have 1 bad start here and there, that's how your ERA is going to be over 5. So I don't know. I'm not impressed with the signing. I need the Mets to do a lot more, especially when I see the Dodgers being so damn aggressive. This signing doesn't do it for me. I know other Mets YouTubers are going to break down the type of pitches and tell you how his pitch shape and, different pitches have changed and how he's going to be great. All right, I want to see it to believe it. So, we'll see. We will see. Not impressed thus far. All right, folks. Let me know what you think. I'm in a very, very, very hot room with the heat on, so I got to fix the situation. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. I will talk to you very soon. Have a great day.